Hello, I'm Girish Hebney and welcome to the Agna Academy and to today's episode of 5 Minute Musing. I'm going to talk to you about finding purpose in our lives. We've all been there and often think, what is my purpose in life? These are questions I too have asked myself before. I've started to think, how do I figure out, is it ultimately my life and no one else understands it better than I do, so I should be doing the thinking? So I applied some contrarian out-of-the-box thinking and want to share with you what I found helped me lead a happier life. So let me talk about it a bit more. So what did I discover? Whenever faced with the question about our purpose, we all go out and seek an answer. So we seek external help to find the answer. But the answer is actually simple and easy and within ourselves. Here's my belief. Our sole purpose in life is to live and live happily. Well, you might say, well, that does not really make any sense. There should be more than life than just happiness. Well, just pause and think for a few moments. You will find that your own answer is, if happiness is the sole purpose for all of us, then I will share three secrets of our pathways to happiness: routes, reactions, and reasons. So let's start by explaining in very simple and plain words. At its, at its core, your purpose in life is tied to one thing: happiness. It doesn't matter whether you're an artist, an entrepreneur, or just a parent. What matters most is how you feel about your life. Imagine your own life and how you feel today. If I asked you how is life, there are only two ways you would reply, isn't it? Either you're happy or unhappy, great or not so great. So deep down, you may be happy about certain things or unhappy about a few other things. And there may be these four other basic emotions like anger, disgust, surprise, fear, clouding your judgment about your life and being unhappy. And here's a thought-provoking twist. What if finding your purpose isn't really about what you do about finding happiness and eliminating what makes you unhappy? So let's talk about a bit more detail in here. So I want to talk about three pathways to happiness: routes, reactions, and reasons. These pathways help you understand the building blocks of both unhappiness and unhappiness. So let's look at number one, routes. Routes are just the medium through which you achieve happiness. So each of us take different routes depending on what we value the most. So ask yourself, am I relying on the right routes to get to happiness? If not, you might need to adjust the paths that you're pursuing or diversify them. Next, number two, are reactions. Happiness or unhappiness often depends on how we react to certain situations. These reactions are in the form of emotions. Emotions lead to a state of happiness or unhappiness. So you would ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? Can I respond differently? The good part is that once you are aware of your reactions, it can be controlled. This leads us to the next point, the reasons. The final pathway is understanding the reasons behind your emotions, as these are because of certain triggers. These are deep-rooted drivers that are driving unhappiness or happiness. So when you identify these root causes, you gain clarity about what needs to be fixed at this level and make changes in your life to be happier. Let's talk a bit more. From my experience, so here's a fascinating insight. 20% of the triggers in your life cause 80% of unhappiness. Just think about that. Most of the dissatisfaction and frustration in your life likely comes from a small handful of sources. Identifying and addressing these few key triggers can transform how you feel. Instead of chasing happiness, a more practical approach is to focus on eliminating the things that consistently make you unhappy. When those negative influences are gone, happiness naturally fills the gap that is left behind. So let us understand the concept with some real life examples. Some common routes we choose are, first thing is money. We think lots of money or financial security leads us to happiness. Next is relationships, spending quality time with your loved ones. And the third, of course, is experiences. So traveling or hobbies makes us happy. So those are routes. But if any of these routes are not helping us, then it triggers unhappiness. The next, of course, is reaction. Think about these reactions: anger, how we react to peak hour traffic; fear, which is what is a fear of failure; frustration, with just imagine no Wi-Fi or no phone signal. So if you look at the same situation, but it could make some of us happy, some of us unhappy. Now let's look at reasons. So we have desires. Unmet desires or can lead us to an unhappy situation. The other issue is with our values. So clash of values such as integrity or ethics. Some example, someone is lying or cheating. That causes unhappiness too. So restrictions. Our freedom is being restricted. So that also causes unhappiness. So identifying these as the causes of unhappiness helps us eliminate them in the future. So finally, what are the takeaways? So we hopefully have an answer to what is my purpose. So we're really finding happiness. So your purpose isn't something that you try and find. It's something that you build by clearing out what doesn't serve you. So by focusing on eliminating unhappiness by recording situations, the triggers that are making you unhappy, and working on eliminating them, you will naturally create a life that aligns with your values and brings you joy. So thanks for listening. Take this week to reflect on what makes you unhappy and explore these three pathways. So your life purpose, remember, is always happiness. It might be closer than you think. It's just waiting for you to make room. Goodbye and hoo for now. Thank you.